Hi, my name is Stephanie at the Disco from Co-op Radio, and I am sitting here with S.L. Hauser. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Do you go by Sarah or do you go by S.L. Hauser?
At this point, I pretty much respond to any variation of my name, but
Okay.
you can call me Sarah. I have one of those last names that people just call me Hauser or Schauser's my nickname. So
Your Instagram is Schauser.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So really, whatever you want to call me, but Sarah's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So I know that you grew up in like Florida and South Carolina. Uh, where did you grow up in Florida and South Carolina?
So I was born in Jacksonville, which is like North Florida. My family, my mom's family is like from Panama City, so we're from the Panhandle. But then after Jacksonville, we moved to Charleston, South Carolina when I was 11.
Yeah. How was Charleston? I've been there once. It was beautiful.
It's really beautiful, I mean, I think like was like an 11-year-old loop, so I was
Yeah.
very kind of like towards it for a bit. But I ended up, I auditioned for a public school there that was a performing arts school. And I think once I got into that school, I really kind of like hit my stride and kind of found my people in Charleston. And it's called Charleston County School of the Arts. But I got in there as a piano player when I was like 12, and then it kind of like changed how I looked at Charleston.
Nice. Good. I'm glad that you had a better experience.
Yeah.
So what brought you to Austin?
I went to college in Boston and was looking for a music city to move to. At the time was really not interested in moving to LA. It seemed like too far away from the East Coast kid. And I had been in the Northeast in school, and New York seemed cold and expensive. And I honestly looked up like how expensive it was to live in Austin, and it seemed like the quality of life here was like pretty doable.
Yeah.
So I came to visit during South by my senior year in college, and then pretty much was like, I'm going to Austin, and I did.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that you just released a cover of "Here Comes the Rain Again" by the Eurythmics, and I wanted to know what inspired your decision to do that. Because that's like one of the greatest songs of all time, and you were just like, I think I'll tackle that.
Yeah.
It
was truly an accident. I've been writing very heavily for the next album, and I've kind of been doing these, like, I call it piano journals, where I just sit down at the piano and like basically improvise for like an hour and see what happens. And so I had done that, and had kind of like, I basically will fully write a song on piano and then go back over and sing over it, which is not my usual process. Usually, those two things I'm kind of doing simultaneously. So I'd written this whole piano arrangement and put it in Ableton, and was starting to really kind of mess around with some vocal melodies over it. And when I was singing over it, I kept coming back to this da, 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 da. And I was like, that's your Eurythmics song. Like, I knew this, that I knew it.
Yeah.
And then just kind of as like a experiment, I was like, what does that melody actually work for this whole thing? With the progression my version is completely different than the original. And it ended up working really well. And then I was like, I went back kind of in that moment, listened to the original, um, and just, I've always loved Davy Lennox, but I was like, oh my gosh, I totally want to do this as a cover. But it was a complete accident. It wasn't something I was intentional about initially. But yeah.
That's awesome. So, you've already collaborated, I feel like, with so many people. Is there anyone, in the Austin scene that you haven't collaborated with that you would love to?
Oof, that's tough. Who else? Who have I not really collaborated with? There's always people that I would love to work with. I briefly taught Adrian Casada piano lessons.
Oh, nice.
But I would love to work with him in like a creative space. Megs Kelly from Magna Carta, just like an amazing creative. I'm always kind of like, we connected through Project Traction, the Jamino project. But Megs is like always doing really cool films, film scoring, just like generally very creative person. I would love to. And I don't know, there's so many people. I love Eric Winterstrom, Carlos Bastards. Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Pretty much anyone at this point.
Anyone?
Yeah.
All right. And I guess my last question, is there anyone that you've seen this weekend so far that you are really looking forward to seeing?
I haven't truly been able to take advantage of the festival this weekend, but I am playing next weekend with Eric Slick, who is the drummer for Dr. Dog. He has
Okay.
his own solo project. So I'm hoping that when I come back next weekend, I won't be in SL Hauser mode. I can be in a different mode and just kind of play the show and then go see some people. But I've loved Magdalena Bay. I love their record. I think they're playing today at 5:30. Dochi, Florida, forever. Um, she's a Florida girl. But I'm trying to think who else. McGee. I'm a huge McGee fan. He's playing tomorrow. So yeah, this year all around. I mean, every day of each weekend, there is at least a handful of bands that I'm like really excited to see. I'm really excited to see Dr. Dog. They're one of my favorite bands in the early 2000s and stuff too. So yeah, it's just there's lots of people I'd love to catch.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.